So what we've done so far, we've now glued the undercarriage bay to where it should be, so it's in there nice and tight. Just turn it off for a few minutes. Everything's looking hunky-dory and we're quite happy. So what we're going to do, excuse me, a bit hooky coffee, we're going to glue our uprights, sorry, our wings into position. But first of all, we're going to make sure that we've got no issues with the main join. Just take the chair off that, and we're going to set the wing up and have a look to make sure there's nothing that's going to get in the way, and it's all going to go together nicely, which it is. Okay, I've got a couple of pegs here, some new ones ready. Right, now to avoid getting finger marks with liquid glue, obviously it'll flow everywhere, so what you want to do, or what I do, not what you want to do, it's up to you what you do, but what I tend to do is the first drop of glue, if there's a gap like that, drop it in, and that'll flow all the way through. Then get your glue and your brush and then just run the glue up. Then you're getting no glue onto the major part of the wing, and if you run it upwards you tend not to get the glue anywhere where you don't want it. So just hold that into position and run it up. Plenty of glue into there. Now my wife picked me up some really nice pegs today at the factory shop, and they are perfect for this job because they're quite strong. And obviously the wing is quite thin, so you want a little bit of tightness, and all we've got to do on the back edge is just drop a drop of glue at the top and run it down so it gets right in, and let the capillary action take it down and just drag the rest of it. And we can just glue that part and on there. We've got no glue in the way anywhere. Then we can come on to the other side. Just checking again that there's, I'll just see a little tag. We don't want nothing on there that's going to get in the way of a really nice join to the fuselage. And then we'll line it all up, and providing it all closes up nicely, which it does, we'll drop the first drop again at the back, and then we'll run our extra thin all the way up, and then from the bottom of the outer part of the wing, this one's not so tight, so we'll put that one in first, and then we've got 3 more of our new ones just to hold that together. And on the other side, wrong pot, we'll just put a dribble of glue between each joint, and last one we can just run all the way through, and then we'll put, whoop, too much, just touch that area and glue that in so that that's nice and clean, that joint, just like so. Okay, right, so that's that part. Looking again, Our next parts are the guns, which we can do while it's still sitting here, or the cannons, guns, whatever you'd like to call them. And we'll see sort of fit they are. Now you want these to be slightly different because they were actually slightly different on the aircraft. So we just run a little drop of extra thin across the bottom, or top rather, touch and flow along the bottom, and just hold them in. That looks quite nice, and they're on. Check our other side. Yep, and again, no issues. So touch and flow is all we need to do. Just like that, and hold them in. And of course, as I said before, the guns are the fabled whistle or shriek of the P51, which we all love and I miss dearly since Janie and Marinelle had left. Well, Janie's now still not too far away, but not in the position that I'd like to see her, which is in the sky, of course. So they're all in nicely and looking good. So we'll turn the page. And our next part is to marry it up to our fuselage. So, just looking, see how we're going to do this. Oh, they go that way, that's why. Full that I am. And that bit goes in, and we're just looking, just looking to see our fit. To be truthful, that is pretty much glorious, the way that that fits into there. That's very impressive. Again, Airfix. Very nicely done and looking really, really good. But what we'll do in the meantime, as we'll let that dry for a little while, making sure that those guns are going in properly. Maybe a little bit of filler on that wing. We'll do our tail sections because they're all ready. Get everything out for them. Da-da-dee-dee. Right. Put that away. So we'll have a look. See how nice these are. Nice tight fit. Slight gap at the bottom. Doesn't look like that's Airfix's fault. Nothing we can't fix. So that looks nice. I think we'll glue that in. And of course the other side. Have a look. Yep, that's pretty good. So just touch and flow. And push tight. Into position. Checking your alignment. That looks pretty good to me. And we've got our rudder. And we're checking to see how we're going to do this and whether we want. I'm going to be coy here and check the painting reference. I think we'll mask that up on the plane, shall we? I'm thinking about the blue on the tail. It's a blue tail here, and whether we could spray it up while it's on. I think we can, so we'll be alright. It's a little bit of a mark in there, which is going to stop it sitting quite right. So we'll whip that out. Like so. Check our fit again to make sure it does fit how we want it, which it does. And run our extra thin down, and of course the top. And add our tail. Hold it for a few seconds. Lovely job. Right, again, looking at our tailplanes. There are two ways up on this one, I think. Just want to make sure which way these go. That one on that side. Yep, that's fine. So I'll just drop some glue down. And then that one can go on. And I'll just push the tail around. That's it. Let her sit nicely. That looks nice. Obviously we'll just check this side. What can I see? That was a glue mark, but that's actually a mark in the plastic. Nothing we won't cope with alkyd microfiller. And we'll just line her up. It's a little bit tight in there, so we'll just a little bit of gentle persuasion. Do ourselves a test fit again. That's better. Not a lot more. With that. So we run our glue again, a bit much, through, down and over. And then we have our ailerons on with a slight dip. I like to see them slightly dipped and the stick's a little bit forward, so that'll be nice. Right, so that's that part on. Now our wings should be nicely glued. Put everything away as we go. Checking everything's nice, and it does look it. Right, so we're happy the way it's looking, and we'll just drop a bit of glue into the gap, which there isn't much of one, I must admit, just to make sure we get it all. On the other side, too much there. I made a mistake on that last side to put too much glue on. And we're just going to drop it down, let it weld into place. So we'll hold it for a few seconds just to get it to start to work, making sure we've got our alignment right, which it is. It's weird the way they put this together, very well engineered, just quite odd in places, and how they do it, quite surprising to be honest. Very well, but just a little bit different. So we're going to have to spray that. But again, a beautiful fit. Everything about this kit has been good so far. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the camera off because you'll get bored as silly, and I'm going to spray this bit up for its green while this is dry and looking good, and we'll come back and we'll basically get it built. By the looks of it, we should be okay. Right, so what I did after the camera shut down last night, I finished off the wings, got the flaps on, got the ailerons on, got the tail on. Everything's ready to go. Got the front of the canopy on and the nose cone, so that's all happy. All we're going to do is just sand it down just to get that nice line that we want there, both sides. Very easy to do. Right, I've masked up the canopy because they're going to be painted separately. What we're going to do now is add our piece underneath the wing. Ready to go. So we'll just check the fit. It looks very good. I'm very happy with the way that fits, but we need to spray that up. So we'll get the compressor turned on, I think we're building, ready to go. Glove on. Excuse me. While the compressor's just kicking in, as we're going to have the black out, black primer, we'll take the prop off the sprue. Ready? Excuse me, a bit tickly this morning. Just take the rough area off. Airfix has sorted out their major sprue gate issues on this kit, which is really good. So nothing particularly to clean up. And I'm happy with that. Hopefully that'll go onto this stick. Not quite, that way it will. So that'll give us our black paint on. Right. So Just clearing up, tidying up just that little bit as you go. I find if I don't tidy up, that'll become a heck of a mess, and I can't see what I'm doing either. So, razor blade out of the way, there's bits everywhere. OCD kicking in. Right. Checking our airbrush is okay this morning. Giving the old black a good shake. We don't want too much. So do that. Piece of paper, clean up around the airbrush. Again, check our flow is nice, and we're just going to put some black down on that area there. That's all that needs, and then we'll paint our prop. Just nicely laying it all down, not putting too much on at once. Just making sure it's there. Oh, hit the old light, not a good idea. So just building that up, so that I'm happy with that. Right, what we got next? Just having a look around, see what we got. Anything there? Nope. Okay. So black is all good. And we'll clean the airbrush up. Blow that out. Where's my cleaning brush? There it is. Right over the way. Literally don't want too much, and we'll get our green. A small amount, that's all. Get the colour through nicely. We've got our part for the headrest, or to go inside the head area, so we'll just give that a quick blast. Pardon me. We've also got our canopy. Of course you want the green to show at the back of the blue. So we'll just give that a quick zip over. So that's done out of the way. Excuse me, bit of coffee this morning. We'll just build the colour up on the back of that. Excuse me, anything else we need to do? Blimey. And everything else is metallised. So we can clean up the airbrush. Put the paint away. blow out the residual in the airbrush. Give it a good clean. Tip out your first lot, blow it through. Second lot, hold the end, put the top over, put your hand over the top, let it all blow back, and tip what's left out, then blow out just enough to clean it out. That's all you need to do. So we can get rid of this horrible old bit of blitz. And now turn off the compressor because we aren't going to need that for a little while. Glove can go. We'll get our part here. We want this to be gluing so that I can carry on this evening. Now hopefully, I don't know how well you'll be able to pick this up. If I pull you in a bit, you can see the difference in colour between the unwashed and the washed. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our paint, or glue rather, a little bit at the front, and just a touch on the insides, just to flow it round, and that was enough. That's took it right the way through. So our next part is to hold it and run the glue up. Just hold it in place. Peg, and I've just got something really silly, but there you go. And hold that part in. Same for this side. Just drop some glue through and hold that in. And we'll take a really soft peg just to hold the nose on and in. And we just want this bit just to hold it into place. Just like so. So that'll now glue, and be happy with that's done. So what we'll do, we'll leave that now, let that dry, and then we'll come back later on and we'll hopefully be close to starting to put some paint down. Excuse me. Right, so this is where we're at the moment. Mustang is looking good and I'm quite happy with it. Just got a couple of little bits to do. We've got to get our system, it's got to clean that up. We've already painted the inside. We've now got the radiator exhaust to put in, and of course I've got to find out exactly how that fits, how that's going to look, which is quite happy like that, as it would be open when sitting still. And we're just going to run a little bit of glue in just to get that bit in. Then while we're upside down, we're going to get some white tack and don't want that blue tack in there. White tack has a less of an oilish point to it, so we can put it in and it's not going to transfer oils onto anything. Normally for external use obviously, but even when you're doing an internal job like this, it's better to use white tack, I've found. Anyway, and then we're going to get everything covered up that needs to be. Move that up, and then, as I say, we'll just fill the void so that we get no overspray into the wheel wells, because we're quite happy with the way that they are. And then another little bit on the other side. Whew. And just get our white tack to conform, which is no problem. That in. We're a little bit thick at that end, so if you just pull it, it'll just tighten it out and give us our proper area that we want covered. A little bit in that panel line, take that out. So that's that bit done. And then just fill it up with smaller parts. Like so. It's just to finish it off. Right, so that's our masking all done. We've got some smaller bits to put onto our front. Just to finish it off, we've already got these set. So just a touch of glue. And that's on. And of course we've got our cowling at the rear, or at the front of the intake I should say, which goes on like so. Now all we're going to do with this again is just touch the model with the glue and let the capillary action do the rest. So we've got that bit on, and a slight touch on the inside just so that it takes, and then get something just to lift it around, and we're just going to angle it into how we want it to sit so that I'm happy, just like that. That's it. Right, with one more piece to find, which is the small intake to go on the top, sorry, on the underneath. So we're looking through that in our parts. There she is. Something that I forgot to get out a little bit earlier. Tidy that up just quickly, just so that there's no edges, and work out exactly how this fits in. I'll have to have a look at the instructions just to make sure. Right, so it does go in. Okay, I've got the jitters this afternoon. That's what you get for watching Norwich City. And then we'll try and get her in there. That's it. And that's exactly how that sits into there. And just a little bit of glue. Right, now we want to just add a little bit of tape. I don't want that much. Just around the rear undercarriage, as we're going to paint that area. Primer up and do so. We want that just a little bit protected. We can get away with the rest of it by painting in the right direction. Right, so basically our main airframe is now ready for paint. Put that away, get the glue off. Engines are there ready, the exhausts are there ready. All we're going to do now, with a very light sand and stick rather, is just take anything off that we don't like. Quite glue, that white tack is sticky. Any glue marks you might have left, any scratches. Quite happy with the way it looks. Got one little one there. That's fine. Quite a lump there for some reason. We'll soon whip that off. Okay, so that's our main airframe ready for painting. Now, the larger, or the inner wheel well doors, we're going to get these ready. So we're going to mask up areas that need to be masked so that we get no paint overflow. We're going to run these along the lines that are required. So we got that one done. That's fine. The other one. So got the shakes. Not good for a model maker. So we're just going to put those in like so. And then we have lines to go to that are on there. Thank you, Airfix. So we've got nice lines to go to. There you go. That's those done. That bit is ready to go inside the canopy. We've got lots to paint. Okay, so when I come back, I'll call this the end of part 3, or part 4. When I come back, we'll be into the actual priming and then painting of our model.